get started, I just want to say one thing. Last month, we had less people, but everyone was a lot louder, so you guys got to work on that, all right? I'm just saying. All right, so I'm here to talk about the 2016 salary survey. Some of you might know what that's about, some of you might not. Before I do get started, though, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Like, this is really freaking cool. Like, we're pulling this off, guys. Thank you. Yeah, so this talk is not really like a lightning talk. This is probably the only talk in this event. Yeah, I know I'm cheating, I'm sorry. That's not bound by the rules of, lightning talks in general. Yeah, they still got a timer for me, but I'm completely ignoring you right now. I don't even care. I run this thing. No, I don't. Caitlin does. Yeah, anyway, so this is more like a State of the Union kind of thing. So, how many of you are familiar with the salary survey that we did? Awesome. Flipping awesome. Okay, so this is perfect. So this is more, so you guys have seen the blog post. I'm guessing some of you got really happy that you're getting a really high salary, other you got really pissed off. Sorry. Especially your bosses in that case, right? Like, they probably want to kill me right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, so the history behind that was that last year, when the Orlando Dev Slack group, which, by the way, if you haven't joined yet, please hit up like every other person here, and they'll get you an invite. But yeah, like when we just had gotten started in January of 2015, there's about like 20 people in there. I can't even remember who was there. I know Carlos was, Bruno was as well, maybe. But I don't even know who else. But anyway, it was only like 20 individuals. And we did a survey very similar to that one. And 1 year passed by, and suddenly we reached like 700 members. Which for some reason, yeah, we're 700, but only 200 of you took the survey. I don't know who the other 500 are, but I just want to slap them. But yeah, I just want to share a little bit of data on the survey. Now, I'm trying to keep the numbers a little bit different from what you've seen in the blog post, and then we'll have a little Q&A at the end. So, just to get this whole thing started. So, yeah, we had approximately 200 people fill out the survey. Most of us were full-timers, so I'm looking at my screen here. We had about like 159 full-timers. And the average there was, a little bit over 84K. Freelancers was just about the same. If you round up by $100, it's also 84K. And then part-timers need some love. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. All right, so this was one of the graphs that I decided not to share with the blog post, but I found pretty interesting. I was curious to know if getting more money meant higher satisfaction at your job. In other words, does that make you happy, right? And in general, yeah. Unless you get paid too much, then you get miserable all over again. Go figure. But yeah, in general, people start out kind of, not making a whole lot, 0 to 20K. Then, yeah, like, it keeps going up all the way up to 100 to 120. I thought that was a pretty cool correlation. So, however, it looks a lot less dramatic. If you look at the same graph, again, let me go back, just so you see what's happening here. This graph starts from 50% all the way up to 90, because there were no other numbers after 90. If you look at this one, it starts at 0%. And you can see that the difference doesn't really look that much, it's not that different anymore. And the reason for that is because we're freaking developers and we love what we do. Is that right? Yeah. So, yeah, I think that was the main takeaway from this. I think that for the dev industry and doing development work, that generally means we're pretty happy. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, if you're a developer, awesome. I know you're happy. If you're not, please work on being a developer, because people are pretty satisfied. All right, so I tried to come up with a little chart on people who were unsatisfied with their pay. How could they go about making more money, right? Now, this might not be 100% accurate. Chances are it's not. But just looking from the data and how people have been more successful, yeah, it looks like if you started out, so hopefully this makes sense. If you started out with development in less than a year ago, and you just started out in a company and you're not happy with what you're making, then you're probably going to get a new job to get a raise. For some reason, just how things are. And the same is true with all the way up to about 5 years of experience. Unless that was your first job and you've been at that company for 3 to 5 years, then you're better off getting a raise. But then after that, as you get a little bit more seasoned, it starts looking a little different. It looks like you need to stick around and get promotions to start getting more pay. Like just going around from company to company isn't the best way to get a higher pay anymore. And I do have a quick word for companies. I mean, it kind of sucks that it has to be that way. So look, if you run a company here, treat your new employees well. I know they're rookies. I know they're probably just getting started, but treat them well. Like make a plan on salary increase. I'm not great at soft skills, like talk to Jeremy if you have questions about that, because that's what he does. Raise your hand real quick so they know we go. Yeah, there. Talk to that guy. But that's what I gathered from this. But yeah, now I do want to say one thing. So if you're not satisfied with your job, that doesn't necessarily mean you need to get a new job, because that's not the only factor that goes into it, right? You might like the people that you like working with, culture of the company. So think about those things. Don't be moved just by greed. Definitely not the kind of culture that we want to implement with developers here, right? Like, again, we're satisfied by the fact that we're developers alone. So, let's keep that in mind. But yeah, if the pay matters, then go see what other developers are doing to be successful. And apparently there's nearly 100 other developers here, so holy crap, just talk to each other. You figure it out. Now, this was another interesting, fun fact that I found by running some Cruz on our survey. Most satisfied people started less than a year ago at their current jobs, or have been there for more than 5 years. I don't know what's going on with, in between, but whatever. Not happy and you've been there for less than 5 years, get another job. No, I'm joking. Talk to your boss, make it better. Next one was startups. Thought that was pretty interesting as well. Startups in Orlando, in general, offer higher pay with a higher satisfaction rate. And I could think of a few reasons for that, right? So for the higher pay, well, usually they pay a little more, but the risk is a little higher because, they might be completely funded by investors, and you know how that stuff goes. I've been part of 4 startups in my life so far. Every single one of them failed. So it's kind of the price you pay. It's sad. And the satisfaction rate is probably because you get to be involved in more parts of the business, right? Like you get to shape a product. And that's usually pretty cool. I mean, if you're as passionate as I am about that, like that's probably what drives that satisfaction rate. You get to make an impact to the company. So, but yeah, and the next thing, this is the last fun fact before we get the real talks going, because this is boring stuff, I'm sorry. College degrees. 42% of the devs in our community do not have a college degree. And we still have jobs as developers somehow, right? However, we do have jobs, but apparently those who have a degree end up getting paid a little more. But the average is still about like 80K for people who don't have a degree. Now, again, this is just an average. Don't freak out if you don't make 80K yet. It could be that, again, this is just averaging out from people who started developing yesterday to people who have been doing it for 20 years. So again, this is just an average. But yeah, not bad. I mean, college degrees, like I said on the post, are important. Don't quickly dismiss it. It usually means that you get paid a little more, but not having it doesn't mean you don't have a job. Usually you do, and it's pretty high paying one. So this is it for my talk. Learn more at orlandodevs.com. That's still like the latest post in there. So if you go on Orlando Devs, you'll see the first post on the homepage there. My name is Sergio Cruz. I help organize this meetup. I'm so excited you guys are here. Please come alive, because you guys are so quiet right now, and it's scaring me. If you have any questions regarding all this, I'm still going to do a Q&A. I'm not a data scientist by all means, so you guys might ask me some questions, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't know, but I'll do my best. But if not, yeah, here's my email and Twitter. Yeah, and there's one last thing. Something I haven't shared with you all. I got a haircut. Any questions on salaries? Michael, score. Yeah, so mix of many different things that I did, right? So I imported all that data into a SQL database and kept running queries. I kept thought of possible correlations that could maybe be true and ran those queries to verify that it actually worked. Once I did, I copied a lot of that resulting data into Excel and generated some graphs there. Then we got some pretty awesome data scientists involved, and they actually ran some actual analytics software to generate some of the more complicated graphs. I don't even know what they're called, like Tableau or something like that. So, but it was off that same data, basically a CSV import into their own proprietary database for analytics kind of thing. So, make sense? Anybody else? No? I told you guys it was more. Oh, hey, John.
Hey, so I think we did something really cool, like getting all the information and creating charts and making it kind of transparent. So what's next?
What's next? Orlando Devs Meetup is what's next. If you're, interested in learning how to be a better developer, a better professional, that's why we're here. We want to talk about tech. We never want to leave that away, but we also want to give you something that I don't know that many meetups have given you yet. Soft skills. Honestly, if salary is what you're concerned about, usually it has a little bit to do with your skills, which, don't get me wrong, they're very wrong. You're going to need that to get a new job. But it's mainly negotiation. I mean, honestly, between, whatever, 70 to 100, it's really just a number that you get to negotiate. So, obviously, there are more things involved in that, but that's why we're here. We want to help you out, and, so that you really get to be where you want to be, and which is, better in general. Anybody else? No? Well, thank you all. Welcome to the Orlando Devs Meetup. Woo!